This child has faced hardships that almost all of us cannot handle. Her biological father impregnated her when she was only 14 years old, and now, at only 17 years old, she went through a hard life that most adults never go through. Yes, you heard it right. Being pregnant by her biological father, growing up without knowing her mother, imprisonment, being raised by her stepmother, staying away from the child she gave birth to, and being considered a person who no longer exists are the pages of her life. This is her story. My name is Esther, and I am 17 years old. I never knew my mother because I was informed that when I was a child, my father expelled her from our home. She left a letter saying she would return for me, but she never came back. I was raised in that manner, but life became more difficult when I was 14, and my father impregnated me. When you hear this, it sounds like an exaggeration, but her father indeed got her pregnant, leading to them having a child together. But how did this such a horror thing happen? I grew up living with an elderly woman, but my dad brought me to my stepmom's place. I heard that my mom left home when I was about a year old, and it was because of problems with my dad, and he didn't allow her to take me. Later, I heard that my mom didn't come back because my dad ended her life later. When I asked my dad about it, he claimed he didn't know where my mom went. The growth of this child was marked by persecution and a bad life because she was raised only by her stepmother when something very bad happened. Her father was evil in a way that is difficult for everyone to imagine. When she was studying in primary school, he reached the 5th class. She dropped out of school because of her father. What the father did to her daughter, you will be very surprised. As I grew older, I began to see strange behavior from my father as he began to be manipulated by lust, and he used to force me till he got me pregnant. From then on, he refused to let me get close to my friends and even locked me at home because he was afraid that I would talk to someone and tell them what happened to me, saying that I shouldn't get out or talk to anyone. It is quite understandable that this man, due to the fear that his actions would be revealed, constantly intimidated his daughter so that she would have no one to disclose to that he had gotten her pregnant. All of this led to giving her an extremely difficult life until the girl chose to escape from home. I was fortunate enough to move out of my family home because my brother warned me that I would have to go since he believed I would probably pass away due to the lifestyle I had back then. So I left, which allowed me to report my father to law enforcement. However, he soon discovered what I had done and fled. During this incident, the police went to apprehend her father, but they discovered that he had managed to escape. Not only did he evade arrest, but he also took something with him that had a lasting negative effect on the child in the future. During that time, everything came to a halt. However, my father took my ID, and I thought it was okay because I believed I could get a new one. Little did I know, my father had a malicious plan. He used my ID to falsely declare to the government that I was no longer alive. Later on, this caused me problems. I got into trouble and was even arrested once because I didn't have my ID when the police asked for it. Before this, her father had frightened her a lot. It was so bad that not even her older brother knew who the real father of the child was until the girl gave birth. Throughout this time, her biological father continued to say hurtful words. Later on, my dad began claiming he wasn't my real father. He said he adopted me, and although it hurt, I had to endure it. He frightened me so much that he even made up a false name for me to use whenever people asked about the father of my baby. I ended up telling my brother the same made-up name whenever he inquired about it, and he was shocked about my pregnancy because he knew I never left the house. I used to be always at home. She kept facing challenges in life with her older brother. When it was time for delivery, she gave birth normally. However, after the birth, her stepmother came and took the baby as per her father's instructions. This girl mentioned that she didn't know anything about the child's life since he was taken away. Now, her child is 3 years old and she's just 17. Throughout this period, she had to leave school and unfortunately, her child was taken away from her. She openly shares that the child is not being treated well in the stepmother's house. The separation from her child adds another layer of difficulty to her life. She's deeply concerned about the well-being of her little one, witnessing firsthand that the stepmother's home is not providing a good environment for the child. The situation has created a challenging chapter in her life, marked by early parenthood and the struggle to secure a better future for herself and her child. One time I saw my child and I saw that he was in a very bad condition. I didn't have anything to do with him because I was not allowed to approach him. After that, I talked to a house girl of that family and she told me that if I had the ability, I would go and take my child because he may die in a bad life. It hurts me that my child is not with me because I'm afraid that they will take him far away and I won't even know how he lives. It hurts me a lot because I usually don't have anyone to help me. Every day, this child keeps facing a really tough life, and it's damaging both her life and her mind. It's always painful for me to realize that I'm one of the many women my father has been with. Sometimes when I'm out and about, people distance themselves from me, saying hurtful things. It's tough, and I feel unloved, like I don't have any friends. Despite this, I try to be patient. Her life was ruined, and she was just a kid who deserved a good life like everyone else. Unfortunately, the father who brought her into the world was the reason for the hardship she faced. Now, this child is reaching out to all the kind-hearted people asking for help so that she and her child can have a bright future. The most important thing for me is to be with my child, to see him every day and be there for him as he grows. I also need a better place to live because where I am now is not good at all. Going back to school is another goal I have. However, all of this is not possible without some help. So, I'm reaching out to anyone who has a kind heart to lend me a hand. I just want a good life for myself and my child. If you have the heart to help her, you can donate via givinglife.com, where the link is found in the description or in the top comments of this video. She was a kid who deserved the very best, but she never got that opportunity. If we come together, we can step in as the caring parents she never had. We can replace the one who made her life difficult. Every donation, no matter how big or small, can make a positive impact on the lives of those who need it. Thank you for watching. I am Susan Bennett, and this is Afrimax English. Please remember to subscribe.